Okay, I need to tell you how this whole thing started because the way it unfolded was like a movie. It's 6:47 a.m. Pacific time this morning. I know the exact time because I screenshotted it. I'm half asleep doing that thing where you check your phone before you even open both eyes. And there it is, a Stephen Curry Instagram story. Black background, white text, just 3 words. The next chapter. That's it. No context, no explanation, no emoji, just the next chapter. And instantly, my brain goes into overdrive. Because Steph Curry doesn't post cryptic stuff. He's not that guy. He posts family pictures and golf highlights and Under Armour ads. When Stephen Curry posts something mysterious, the entire basketball world stops. And it did. Within 30 minutes, the next chapter was trending on Twitter. Every NBA account was speculating. Is Steph retiring? Is Steph demanding a trade? Is Steph announcing something about the Warriors? Nobody knew. And then, at 7 a.m. Eastern, Steph appeared live on Get Up with Mike Greenberg. And what he said over the next 20 minutes didn't just answer the question, it detonated the question. It sent shockwaves through every front office in the league, because Steph Curry went on national television and made a case for the Warriors to trade for LaMelo Ball that was so detailed, so passionate, and so final that it felt like he was presenting closing arguments to a jury. This is the most significant thing Steph has said publicly since his night-night era. And Dub Nation, I need you locked in for every single word. Hey, what's up everyone? Real quick before we get into everything, that like button is literally what determines if this reaches hundreds or thousands of fans. Takes 1 second, but makes a huge impact on the channel's growth. Just smash that like button right now. It's the easiest thing you can do, but honestly, the biggest way to support this content. Every single like pushes this further, so hit it now. Greenberg opened by showing the Instagram story on screen. Steph, the internet is going crazy. The next chapter. What does that mean? Curry smiled, but it wasn't his usual warm, lighthearted smile. It was the smile of a man who had a plan and was about to reveal it. He adjusted his earpiece, took a breath, and said, "Mike, I'm 38 years old. I just played the worst season of my Warriors career. We went 37-45. I missed 27 straight games with a knee injury. We got eliminated in the play-in tournament after I shot 4 for 16 against Phoenix. Jimmy Butler is rehabbing a torn ACL. Moses Moody has a ruptured patellar tendon. Kristaps Porzingis is a free agent who might not come back. And Steve Kerr's contract is up with his future uncertain. So yeah, the next chapter means exactly what you think it means. The Warriors need to make a massive move this summer, and I know exactly what that move should be." Greenberg leaned forward. The producers probably started rubbing their hands together because they knew this was about to be TV gold. "What's the move, Steph?" "LaMelo Ball." 2 words, and the Get Up studio reacted like a bomb went off. Greenberg's eyebrows shot up. The panel started talking over each other. The graphic team scrambled to put LaMelo's stats on screen. And Steph just sat there, calm as can be, with that smile that told you he'd been thinking about this for a long time. "Let me explain," Steph said, and his voice shifted into that serious, focused tone he gets when he's dissecting a defensive scheme in film study. "Everyone's been talking about Giannis. Giannis to the Warriors. Giannis and Steph. And look, I get it. Giannis is a top 5 player. But here's the reality. We tried to trade for Giannis at the deadline. We offered Draymond, Kuminga, Podziemski, and 4 first-round picks. Milwaukee said no, so we pivoted to Porzingis, who gave us 16 points a game and is now a free agent. The Giannis dream is still alive, but there's a better fit for what the Warriors actually need, and that better fit is LaMelo Ball. Here's why," Curry continued, and now he was in full professor mode. "The Warriors' identity has always been movement, shooting, pace, and joy. We play with joy. That's what made the dynasty years special. It wasn't just the championships, it was how we won. We played beautiful basketball, we pushed the pace, we shot threes from everywhere, we passed the ball with a creativity that made people fall in love with basketball. And that identity is dying. This year we were 19th in offensive rating. We were slow, we were predictable, we were old, and I'm part of that problem because I'm 38 and I missed a third of the season. LaMelo Ball is the only young player in the NBA who plays with the same DNA as the Warriors dynasty, Steph said, and this is where his voice got really passionate. He pushes the pace in transition. He throws passes that make you jump off the couch. He shoots threes from 30 feet like it's nothing. He's 6'7", so he can see over the defense. He's 24 years old, which means he has a decade of elite basketball ahead of him. And his personality, his showmanship, his creativity, that's the Warriors way. He's not just a basketball fit, he's a cultural fit. He's the only player in this league who could take the torch from me without the Warriors having to change who they are. Greenberg asked about the financial and trade logistics, and Curry showed a level of front office knowledge that honestly surprised me. Look, I know LaMelo's contract is big, about $40.7 million next year with a 15% trade kicker. I know Charlotte has been reluctant to move him, but here's what changed. The Hornets just went 44-38, made the play-in, and got eliminated again. LaMelo had 30 and 10 in the overtime win against Miami, and then they got blown out by Orlando 121-90. That's the pattern. Every year, individual brilliance, team frustration. LaMelo averaged 20.1 points and 7.1 assists in 57 games this season, his healthiest year since his rookie year. But Charlotte's front office is building around Brandon Miller and Con Knuppel. The coach's half-court system doesn't match LaMelo's transition style. A Western Conference exec called him unserious. The writing is on the wall. For the Warriors, Steph continued, the package would have to be significant, but it's doable. Brandon Podziemski, who Charlotte would love as a young combo guard. Moses Moody's contract for salary matching, even though he's injured. Our 11th pick in the 2026 draft. Maybe additional future picks and swaps. It's not a king's ransom. It's less than what we offered for Giannis. And what you get back is a generational playmaker who can run this franchise after I'm gone. Then Steph said something that made me literally stand up from my couch. And let me be clear about something. I'm not talking about replacing me right now. I'm talking about a partnership. LaMelo comes here. He plays alongside me for my last 1 or 2 seasons. I mentor him. I teach him what it means to be a warrior. I teach him shot selection, defensive effort, how to win in big moments. And then when I retire, the transition is seamless. There's no 2-year rebuild. There's no dark period where the Warriors are in the lottery. LaMelo steps into my role, surrounded by whatever young talent we've built around him, and the Warriors stay relevant. That's what the next chapter means, Mike. Not my next chapter. The Warriors' next chapter. The Get Up panel was completely silent. Greenberg, who always has something to say, just stared at the screen for a moment before saying, Steph, that might be the most thoughtful succession plan I've ever heard from an active player. And here's what I want to say directly to the Warriors organization, Curry said, and his voice went from analytical to emotional. Joe Lacob, Mike Dunleavy, you've been incredible partners in building this dynasty, 6 championships as a franchise. 4 in the last 12 years. We changed basketball together, but the dynasty era is over. Draymond is 36, I'm 38. Clay is gone. The death lineup is a memory, and you have a choice to make. You can try to squeeze 1 more year out of me and Draymond and Jimmy Butler's ACL recovery and hope that everything lines up perfectly. Or you can be bold. You can make the move that ensures the Warriors are championship contenders for the next decade, not just the next season. LaMelo Ball is that move. But we were 37-45 this year, Steph continued, and now there was real pain in his voice. I played 43 games. I missed 27 straight with a knee injury. When I came back, I scored 48 against Portland, and we lost. I went 6-8 in my 30-point games. The team couldn't win even when I was at my best. That tells you everything about the state of this roster. We don't need another role player. We don't need another Porzingis-type stopgap. We need a franchise player. A guy who can score 25 a night, dish 8 assists, and make Chase Center feel like Oracle Arena in 2016 again. To LaMelo, Steph said, and his eyes got a little brighter, like a big brother about to welcome a little brother home. I know Charlotte has been frustrating. I know the system doesn't fit your style. I know you've dealt with injuries and criticism and people calling you unserious. But I see you, man. I see the talent. I see the vision. I see the joy you play with. You remind me of me when I was your age. Wild, creative, shooting from everywhere, not caring what anybody thinks. Come to the Bay, let me show you how to channel all of that into winning. Because there's nothing in this world like winning a championship, and I promise you, if you come to Golden State, we will win one together. That last line hit different. Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter in the history of basketball, the man with 4 championships, just personally recruited LaMelo Ball on live television, not through agents, not through back channels, directly to his face through the camera with the entire basketball world watching. Now let me give you my analysis, Dub Nation, because this is massive. First, Steph's succession plan is actually brilliant. The Warriors' biggest fear has always been the post-Curry era. How do you replace the greatest shooter ever? How do you maintain relevance in a league with Wembanyama, SGA, and Ant Edwards? The answer isn't a rebuild. The answer is finding the next Steph. And LaMelo Ball, with his range, his creativity, his pace-pushing style, is the closest thing to a young Steph Curry that exists in the NBA. Second, the trade package is realistic. Podziemski, Moody, the 11th pick, and future picks is a strong offer. Charlotte gets young talent and draft capital. The Warriors get a 24-year-old franchise cornerstone, and unlike the Giannis pursuit, this doesn't require trading Draymond Green or gutting the entire roster. Third, LaMelo's fit in the Warriors system is perfect. Steve Kerr's motion offense, or whoever coaches the Warriors next year, thrives on ball movement, pace, and three-point shooting. That's exactly what LaMelo does. His 7.1 assists per game and his ability to shoot from 30 feet would slot into the Warriors' DNA seamlessly. Fourth, the mentorship angle is unprecedented. How many superstars actively recruit their own replacement? Steph isn't being selfish, he's being selfless. He's saying, bring in the next guy, let me teach him, and let's make this transition smooth. That's the kind of legacy thinking that separates Steph from every other superstar in NBA history. And fifth, LaMelo Ball in a Warriors uniform would be the most exciting thing to happen to the NBA since the KD Warriors era. The highlights: the social media content, the entertainment factor, LaMelo at Chase Center in front of that crowd, running the break, throwing behind the back passes, pulling up from the logo. It would be appointment television every single night. Hit that comment section and tell me what you think. Should the Warriors trade for LaMelo Ball? Is Steph right that LaMelo is the perfect succession plan? Would you rather have Giannis or LaMelo? Because the Warriors' future is being decided right now, and Steph Curry just put his stamp on what that future should look like. Like, subscribe, bell, you know what to do. Because this offseason is about to get absolutely insane, and I'm gonna be here breaking down every twist and turn. Dub Nation, the next chapter is being written, don't miss a page. I'll catch you on the next one, stay locked in.